All right, so I think that this is recording, I think, and hopefully it saves to a place that I know how to share it in the app for later. Let's see, admit. I think Christy was planning on joining too. Just give her a second. But I have always been asked, like, how the F do you get everything done? Like, how do you get everything done and always, like, you never miss a workout, like, you never miss a beat? Like, how in the world do you do it? And for me, what I learned how to do when I was working corporate, and it was really out of necessity, was I just became like a master of managing my time. And I think when you manage your time, it becomes really aware to you that you're wasting a lot of time. Like you start to pay attention to how many minutes you spend a day, like scrolling through Instagram and your dead time, or like how many minutes you spend, like just with dead time, like scrolling through emails, like looking through promotional emails that literally don't mean anything to you, but you still like scroll through things. And once you start to master this, you'll start to really see that you do have a fair amount of time, even if you work crazy hours and have a crazy AF life. So I know you guys know this already, but I used to work a corporate job where I was traveling to different cities 4 days a week. So that means my work days for 4 days a week were like 12 hours on it, the short end, but more likely they were like 15, 16-hour days. And I was on and off airplanes. I was in airports when I wasn't actually flying to different cities. I was driving for, 8 hours a day on meal plan, competitive bodybuilding, running a team of, athletes and helping you guys with your check-ins, doing daily check-ins and the whole thing. Also being a mom, like also a mom of three, sports events, all of the things. So what I did is I just got into this practice where every single Sunday, I would literally brain dump everything that I wanted to get done onto a blank sheet of paper or onto a notebook page. So that's what I want you guys to start out with, is literally just brain dumping everything that you have to do next week. You're writing down things like your doctor's appointments, vet appointments, your work hours, your lunch breaks, like all of the things you're going to write down. If you have meetings within your work, so for me, I managed a very large territory. And so my work day consisted of travel time as well as organizing for various meetings, creating different, proposals and all sorts of things. So literally every single thing, brain dump it down on a page, and then expand out. In a best case scenario, what would you like to achieve this week? You want to get 5 workouts done, write down 5 workouts. You want to meal prep, write down you want to meal prep. You want to call your mama, write down you want to call your mama. Everything that you want to get done in an ideal week, you brain dump it down onto the page. And so once you get that list done, then what you're going to do is you're going to go back through and you're going to be extraordinarily realistic. Okay, I want to get a workout done 5 days a week. How long does that workout take me, including travel time? And you're going to write down how much time it takes. Is it an hour? For me, it was always 2 hours because my closest gym is 15 minutes from my house. So I would knew that it was going to be like a 2 hour by the time I was done, especially during prep when my cardio was sky high and I was there for so long. You have to include your travel time and be very, very granular and very, very realistic. Hang on, I think I just admitted Christy. I don't know where she is. I don't know. If somebody wants to text Christy and ask her if she got in or if she wants to request to get in again. I don't know if I blocked her or accepted her. Anyways, but you have to get extremely granular. And right, like if you want meal prep on your list, how long does it take you to cook your chicken? How long does it take you to put everything into the containers? You have to be extraordinarily detailed with your time blocks. And then from there, what I do, and that's before I even look at a planner. And then from there, what I'm doing is I'm going to my planner for the following week. And I'm going to start filling in. And I always do this handwritten. No matter what, it's always handwritten. You can go through and digitize it afterwards, but there's something about writing it out that totally it makes everything just stick so much better. So Christy, just to bring you up to speed, we just started by saying the very first thing that I always do on a Sunday is I take a blank piece of paper and I brain dump everything that I have to get done that week. All of my appointments, my work hours, how many times, if I want to work out 5 times a week, I'm writing 5 workouts. If I need to do cardio 3 times, I'm writing my cardio 3 times. If I need to call my mom, I'm writing, I want to call my mom. If I need to, talk to various prospects or anything that I need to do, I'm literally writing everything down. And then what I'm doing is I'm branching out to in an ideal week. Like if this was the perfect week and I achieved everything I want to achieve, what would that list look like? And I'm literally brain dumping everything down on a blank piece of paper. And then I'm going back through, once I've generated that list, I'm going back through and I'm being extremely realistic. And I'm just writing down how much time each item would take. If I'm going to call my mama, I know she likes to talk. It's going to be 30 minutes. Like if I'm going to call my sister, I know that's a 45-minute phone call and that's quick. Like whatever it is, I'm literally being extraordinarily realistic. For me to go to the gym, I know it's 15 minutes of travel time, 15 minutes back on top of my workout time. So my workout doesn't take an hour, it takes an hour and a half because of the travel time. And you have to be really, really realistic with how many minutes each task takes. And so you start out, you have your whole list, and then you're brain dumping everything in an ideal situation. If you need to call the mortgage company, you're writing that down. If you have a question and you got an insurance bill and you're like, why isn't insurance covering this? I've got to call the insurance company. You're writing that down on your list. So in an ideal week, your most efficient week ever, what does that look like? You're writing everything down and the exact time of how long it should take you. And then you're opening up your planner. You're going into your planner. This is like meal prep time. This is all of the things. How long does it take you to get ready in the morning? Like you have to get extremely granular with your time. Then you're going into your planner and you're back filling in your work hours because we all have a job. So what are your work hours? Are you a 9 to 5? Are you a 3 to 11? Like what does your work hours look like? Fill in your whole calendar with your work hours because we don't oftentimes have a choice of our work hours. Now, Jamie, because you also manage clients, you've got to take that into consideration too. So you're writing down your day job hours, and then you're also getting extremely realistic with how long it takes you to respond back to your clients and what days of the week that's happening. Okay. You're filling in all of the mandatories. And then chances are you've probably put a few doctor's appointments and things in your phone. So you're going to double check your phone calendar for any hard appointments. Do you have any doctor's appointments? Do your kids have any appointments? Do your pets have any appointments? Do you have a date planned? Like what is planned? Do you have a baby shower that's this weekend? Whatever it is, you're writing everything down that is basically immovable and kind of out of your control. Like your work hours are really out of your control. Your doctor's appointments are really out of your control. Whatever it is that you cannot move, that's what you're writing in. Then you're going back to your list and you're just crossing off all the things that you just added into your calendar. And you see where I'm going with this. And then you're kind of going in order of importance down your master list of if it was the most efficient week ever, how am I going to stack my day? And then what you really have to do is you have to get into the nooks and crannies. If you're somebody and you usually get a 30-minute lunch break, you usually kind of spend it dicking around on your phone, maybe calling somebody while you're eating your lunch, and you have not enough time to get all of your tasks done, maybe you have to plan to call the mortgage in that half an hour lunch break. Like maybe that's the time you call to make the appointment for your dog or, your kid's doctor's appointment or vet appointments or whatever you have going on. But what it does is it will absolutely identify where you're really efficiently spending your time and where you're really wasting a lot of time. And for me, I really had to be honest with myself and realize I was spending a lot of time dicking around on my phone. And I would use the excuse of like, oh, I'm building an online business. I'm supposed to be on Instagram or I'm supposed to be on Facebook, when really I was scrolling. I wasn't doing anything that was adding any dollars to my pocket. I was just scrolling and commenting on people and seeing what everybody else was up to on my lunch breaks. Or in between meetings, I would find myself, I was just kind of scrolling through emails that don't even matter. I was looking at like, oh, what is Skims promo this week? Like, let me look at the Skims ad. Like there was a lot of really dead time that was impacting my ability to be really, really efficient. And then you're going to take, once you get all of those appointments in and you go back through in order of importance and you're adding in, all of the phone calls that you would like to make, where your workouts are going to fit. Are they going to be before work? Are you somebody that can get it done on lunch break? Are you going to get it done after work? You're literally time blocking every single thing. And what this allows you to do is it very plainly allows you to see, and I don't know what your schedules look like, but mine have like the hours listed in it. And I highly recommend getting a daily planner that has the hours, because then you can literally put in and assign yourself what you're going to do every hour of the day. Some of them get really granular, like every half an hour, but whatever works best for you. And you're going to really see what your day looks like. And then you're going to know, like, hey, if I'm just playing around on my phone at lunchtime, I'm not going to get these 3 things done. And then I'm going to have to move that to a different day. And it's really, really simple to see. And that's the process that I do every single Sunday. I've done it since I worked corporate. I've basically done it, I would say, I don't know, maybe since 2018, after I had baby number 3 and I found myself at 220 pounds and I had to find time to work out and meal prep and all the things. And I always felt like, oh my God, my schedule is so busy. I work 15-hour days. There's no way I have time to add anything else to my plate. And that was always my excuse. I don't have the time to work out. My problem is I was kind of leaving it up to chance. I would tell myself my goal is to work out 4 times this week, but then I never took the time to actually prioritize it and put it in my calendar. So then Monday would come along and I would work a 15-hour day and I would hit snooze on my alarm clock. I would work my 15-hour day. I would come home and then I would be like at the mercy of all my kids. I have 3 kids. So then it would be, which one needs what from me, because they're little demanding narcissists. Like, they don't care what's on your to-do list. And so that was really just really learning that my days were running me and I wasn't running my days. And once you kind of take ownership of that, then like, hey, I don't have time to push snooze this morning, because if I don't get my workout done this morning, I don't have any other days that I can move it to. And it becomes really, really clear. And then you look at your appointments and everything in your calendar, just like how you would. And I always use this example when I'm talking to women, just like how you would your gynecologist appointment. Are you ever super motivated and jazzed to go to your gyno appointment? Nope. But it's in your calendar. You've made the commitment. You're going to go, and you're going to go because you know it's good for your health and your hygiene. It's not the most fun thing. Maybe you would rather sit and scroll your phone. Maybe you would rather sit and push the snooze instead of go to the appointment, but you still get it done because it's in your calendar and it's organized and you know that you have to go, because if not, you're just going to have to reschedule it somewhere else and it's going to be inconvenient. And so that's really the nuts and bolts of how I plan my week. And then every morning, I'm just reviewing my schedule. If there's anything that I don't get done from the previous night, I'm just seeing, where can I stack this in the week? And I spend about 5 minutes doing that. And then immediately after doing that, I jump right into my gratitude list and then I go on with my day. Was that clear?
I already have a planner and stuff. It's in the car, so I'm already wrote down. I do the gym every day. I have this all figured out. I just wanted to see if you had any other tips or ideas, but basically I'm following what I'm supposed to do, so
super easy when you're a single girl with no kids.
yeah. I just took on a second job though, so now I'm working a full-time on top of a part-time.
Yeah.
But I still do the gym in the morning though.
Anybody else have any questions, or this isn't going to work for me, or anything that I could help identify? No?
No, I don't think so.
Pretty straightforward, but the problem is you have to actually do it. And you have to actually get granular with it. And you have to really think outside of like my work hours, how long my workouts are going to, like, you have to really like, do I have to call the mortgage company? Do I have to call the health insurance company? Like, what else do you have to get done in order to be efficient, and really, really time block everything in? And then once you do that, you can really get realistic. Like, is it even realistic for me to plan to go to the gym today if every single hour of my day is already taken up? And if it's not realistic for me to get my workout done, is there something on this list that is less important than my workout? Is maybe calling mom? Maybe that's not the important thing. Maybe I call mom on the way to the gym, and then I call her back on the way home from the gym, because that's a half an hour of talk time. And so you'll start to see that there's a lot of like holes and gaps and things that just natural human nature, we just kind of breeze over. And then we convince ourselves we're too busy. I'm too busy for this. I'm too busy for this. And so it really helped me to identify where all of my dead time was. And I was really embarrassed. Like, how much dead time I had given, because I was always like under this, like, oh my God, I work so much. Like I'm so busy, like all the things. And really, really, there was a lot of dead time. So I hope this was helpful. If you guys want, I can help you one-on-one, but it's pretty straightforward. It's just the getting granular with it and the sticking to it. And then quite literally in my planner every single week is the Sunday time that I'm going to take to do this. And I know now I'm really efficient at it. So I block off 20 minutes every single Sunday.
Cool. When you first started, how long did it take for you to figure out all of this in each week?
Well, it was a lot of trial and error when I first started, and I didn't I didn't have the process like passed over to me. So I was just more, and I was teaching a sales seminar, and I was telling that the sales guys that they were really inefficient with their time, and they really did have time to make outgoing calls, and they really did have time to send outgoing emails, and they kept telling me like, I have no time, I have no time. And so for a fun exercise, I had my sales team, it was 20 sales guys, and I was like, I want you to write down everything that you do today, from the time you get here until the time you leave, every single thing that you do. And then they had to turn in their list the next day. And I was like, talk to one customer. Had lunch. What else? Like, you're here for 12 hours. What else did you do? So going through that process with them kind of helped me identify with my own self. But I would say when I first started, it definitely was more of a lengthy process because I was always forgetting things to put in. So I would find that I thought that I was including all the granular things, but what I was really doing is including my appointments and my work hours and my workouts. And then everything else was just kind of to chance. And then when I had to call the mortgage company or the health insurance company or the doctor's office or whatever, it totally threw off my whole day. Cause I was like, well, now I spent an hour on the phone on hold and bebopping back and forth. And that was my workout time. So I guess I'm going to work. And so I feel like it took me a while to really get good at getting granular with it. But then once you do it a few times, I think you can really master it in 15, 20 minutes. And especially if you have a week that's not crazy. So it's those weeks where you have, all of the things going on, a relative's in the hospital, you've got to bring your dog to the vet, you've got crazy work schedule, you've got meetings back to back to back, like your husband has, some work event that he wants to take you to. It's those weeks that you really have to those are the weeks that take a little bit longer because you're really playing Tetris and you really have to identify what can I push off to next week and feel good about it. And what do I have to get done this week in order to feel successful and efficient? So, but we all have the time. We just prioritize the wrong way, I think. And we are reactive instead of proactive. So that's all I got, babes.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that.
I hope it helped. And I hope I was able to record this.
It says
It says
recording up in
recording,
the
so I think we're
top.
okay. What?
It says
Says
recording
recording.
up in the top, so
I know. And I recorded. So I've done Zooms various times for other people, or I've recorded like one-on-one conversations because I find that some of the conversations I have are repetitive and they could really help other women too. And a lot of times when girls first start, they're too nervous or shy to ask the questions, or they feel like it's something that they should just inherently know instead of asking, or they feel like it's a dumb question. And so I've recorded a bunch of them, but I can never tell where the recordings go. That's where I lose them. But I think I have it figured out this time. So I think we're good. But is everybody good for their Sunday? You got your meal prepping done?
oh yep, and I got my clothes out and everything's ready for tomorrow, so I'll be up
That's
at
another
5.
thing too that was literally in my calendar every single day is I knew I was going to spend 10 minutes setting up myself for the next day because
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't start out as a morning person. And when I was working corporate, I had to get up at 3:30 in the morning.
Oh, I remember this. She made
It
me get up
was
at 5 in the morning.
death. And so, I mean, you want to talk about like everything in my body was like, just push snooze and say F it. Like those were the days. But I would actually take like 10 minutes at night and set myself up for the next day. So I was like super petty. I would set my work outfit out. I would pick like whatever jewelry I wanted to wear. I would pack my work bag. I'd make sure that my lunch was just kind of grab and go in the refrigerator, ready to go. But I did that the night before every day. And that was in my planner. So just get really, really granular.
I've already caught on to that schedule.
All right, babes. Well, it was good to see everybody. Jamie, you're off today?
I work the overnight. I am
Oh,
off most of the day.
well, if you want to catch up at some point, just shoot me a message, okay?
Yes, I think I did try to schedule something with you. I'll text you because I don't know if it went through on my Coach AI.
I don't look at my Coach AI on Sundays, so I didn't see it.
Oh no, I scheduled it a couple days ago. But I honestly don't remember what day it was, so I was gonna text you today and see.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
All right. Thank you,
Thank you.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.